First edition of The Slate with me, MrWarrenHayes, here on the MrWarrenHayes YouTube channel, youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes. This is it. This is something new that I've decided to try. I'm going to, everyone's always, post shows. Everyone's always on about post shows. But what about the pre-shows? Who gives any pre-shows any love? Like who out there is like, hey, yeah, we like to talk about the shows before the shows as well. Why does it always have to be after? So I figured, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. You're going to see what happens. I'm going to call this the slate, as in we are going to be talking about what is on the slate for wrestling tonight. So I'll be doing this Mondays for Raw. I'll be doing this Wednesdays for AEW and NXT. And I'll be doing this on Friday for SmackDown. And then we're going to go cuckoo crazy, as I like to put it. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here right now on youtube.com/MrWarrenHayes. We're gonna get excited. We're gonna chat about the show tonight. We're gonna the big Raw coming up tonight, post Survivor Series world. If you're watching right now, go give the video a thumbs up. Send it out there into the universe. And as you see, I have a timer set up there to make sure that I'm done by the minute, the second we have to switch over to the big wrestling program. So we're on a schedule here, folks. So you have to get the word out. You have to start liking. You have to do it now. This is how it happens. And I want to thank everyone who's already joining us this evening here. Scott Frayne, how you doing? Brian Payne as well. Nick Wolf is here as well. Good to see you. Aaron Entertainment as well. Hello. We've got Caleb Hawkeye who's here as well. Thanks for being here. DGMC is going to make sure everyone stays in line. Thomas Gories is here as well. Thank you very much for the card. I enjoy the cardigan. And that's very good. Ben is here as well. Mr. Fantastic. Good to see everyone. Good crowd of people just here for the first time ever. Bloop, just popping up here. And of course, WWE is not going to make it easy on me because they only have one match announced, right? They're counter-programming me. That's what they're doing. They're counter-programming me straight off the bat. Yeah. I can't believe it. We've got super chats going on. If you want to drop some, folks, feel free. Nick Wolf dropped 2. First of all, thank you very much. First super chat, Nick Wolf. There's what is this new show? Congrats. Well, there we go. We've been through it, but if you're just landing in here, we're doing a pre-show. That's what we're going to be doing on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're going to be pre-showing all this stuff. Leave the post shows to the amateurs. And Nick says, what about Thursdays? I need my New Japan fix. Hey, I'm not changing anything on Thursday. Thursdays is still the flagship. It's the Mr. Warren Hayes show. That's still happening. So don't you worry. Don't you fret. Don't be afraid. It's still happening as well. Throwback is in the chat. Joel Arkin as well. Good to see you. We're going to see both of you. William Davis as well. Tim Traver. Wow. It's a crazy cuckoo evening here tonight. So we're starting off. Okay, so let's talk about Raw. Not as it stands right now, and I even have WWE's Twitter feed open. I have the WWE.com page right next to it as well. There's not much to talk about so far. We're in a post-Survivor Series environment tonight, atmosphere. We ended up with We ended up with a big event last night. I don't want to go too much into detail because I'll probably talk more about it on Thursday. But overall, I liked the show. I think there was a lot to like about Survivor Series last night. There's a couple of glaring things I think that you can point out that weren't very good, but I think overall it was an okay show. I enjoyed it personally. I think there was a lot more good about it than there was bad. Of course we always have a tendency to focus on the really bad stuff, but I think there was a lot of good stuff. And coming out of this, we're all sort of expecting, what's Raw going to be on tonight? What are they going to be focusing on tonight? Well, for now, folks, you know what they're going to be focusing on? They're going to be focusing on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. That's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. Clearly they're going to be going on the friendship, the breakup. We saw them have a pull apart brawl last week, which I think is cool. I think they could really move into it really strongly. But the thing is, the thing that I believe is, I think that Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss have enough history together to really stretch this out. Like, I really feel like they don't have to move into territory where they actually touch each other tonight. I feel like there was something there that they could build, create a real storyline, and put it on a pay-per-view. We're going to have TLC before Christmas is over, right? So, that'll be coming up. I kind of feel like there's a little more. I mean, just because they announced that they're going to have a match doesn't mean that there's actually going to be a match, right? Of course, that's always the way. But I can't but not feel like maybe this is a little too early. But I like the idea of this feud, and hey, it's not going exactly the way that I had thought of, and probably a lot of us had expected when Bliss Cross Applesauce came into being. We probably all figured that Alexa was just going to revert back to her Alexa ways, and that'd be the end of that. But no, there's the path here is a little more strained, a little more tenuous. There's a lot more stuff going on with Alexa's affiliation is the word I'm looking for with the Fiend. So we'll see how all this goes. We'll see what the next step is tonight. Doesn't mean that they necessarily absolutely have to 100% lean into to a big match. If anything, what can you say? Maybe expect a fuck finish so that we can get something a little more substantial down the road. I think that would be possible. It'd be reasonable to think that would be something that could happen. If you ask me, of course. Want to say thank you to Throwback for the super chat. Says thank you for dropping by last week. Taker's goodbye was an amazing moment. Thank you very much for that throwback. Yeah, I popped into his stream last Thursday. I can do that from time to time. I have the keys to the back door. I have the keys. I can get in and pop in whenever I want. So I always appreciate the open invitation that I have there over on Throwbacks channel, which you should subscribe to if you don't. And as far as Taker's moment last night, look, I thought it was. I'm very torn. I'm very torn on it. That's my main issue right now. I'm going to talk about it more on Thursday. I will eventually talk about it, give you my full thoughts. But as it stands, what sums up my feeling most is what I tweeted last night, and it's that at some point I started to feel bummed that this was going to be his exit, right? This is what I started to feel like. I wish there was a little more to this. I wish he was in front of an audience. I wish there were people there. It started to weigh on me. I thought it was disappointing, but hey, that's just me for now. We'll get into that on Thursday, MrWarrenHayes show, 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday evening. I want to say hello to Jonathan Reyes, who's here as well, Nikki as well, and Michael Bunge as well, who appreciates my Bob Ross hat. Thank you very much. Bob Ross appreciates you as well. I was looking over a little preview that they have set up on the WWE account as we're going by. They're announcing, right? They are announcing that they are announcing that there's going to be fallout from Survivor Series for the red for the red team and everyone who was victorious from Raw, right? What's going to happen next for the red team? Okay. What's going to happen next with Bobby Lashley, who won last night? Okay, that's cool. Of course, what's going to happen with Lana? Now, the Lana stuff, oh boy. Chad, I want to hear your thoughts on what I want you to tell me about the Lana stuff, and I'll read off some of your comments here. Let me know how you feel about how they've been handling Lana and how it sort of came to a head last night. They put themselves in such a tricky, weird situation, because here's what I talked about this a couple of times on the stream. I really thought that they were going to make Lana into, like, they were building her to make her another Johnny Gargano, kind of thing, where she's always fighting from underneath, where she's absolutely being crushed and destroyed, but then suddenly rises, above, rises above everything else, and is elevated to that next level kind of thing, I think there was a million billion ways you could have ended the Survivor Series last night with Lana coming across as the underdog, but still getting a good, getting some good heat off of it, being bullied and staying on the apron until she was the final survivor, to me was not the way to go. If anything, she could have cost Nia an elimination. She could have made Lana get eliminated. Anything. Just anything at all. But then to have her come in and be like, hey, I'm the last one. I get it, what they're trying to do storyline wise. I completely understand. Okay, you wanted her set to the side for the entire duration of the match. Well, there you go. She was there. She didn't move. And therefore, she's the last to have been eliminated. But to me, she should have got involved. She should have done something to get a comeuppance on Nia. Because the match just ended. The match just ended. And it was extremely anticlimactic. And it wasn't a moment where, oh, I feel good about this. It's more like, oh, well, isn't that interesting and you know? That's the thing. That's what I find really, really weird about it all. It fascinates me. It really does fascinate me. I've been enjoying what they were doing, with the tables and all, with the commentary table. I think it's been a good rib up to this point. But I don't know. I mean, it's going to be more of the same tonight, right? Nia's going to come and is going to bully her some more. And is this going to give Lana the confidence to move on? I don't know. Let's go see what you guys think about all of this. Let's see. DJMC says, push Lana to the moon. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. It's a very compelling argument. Aaron Entertainment says Lana expected to win. I guess he wants to say, but not in that way, which is exactly my point. I think everything was set up, to get that, but to get the win, I think the storytelling was transparent. But Zach Barber says, hello, Zach, by the way, welcome to the chat. He says, I just need Lana to get her revenge so we can move on. That is true. Benoit says, that finish wrecked all the greatness of this match. It just was, right? This was like... Bob Green, good to see you. Bob left us a super chat. He didn't leave a super chat. He did leave a good comment, which kind of made me feel like it was a super chat. He said, in all respect, Lana can't wrestle. How far can they take her? It's an excellent point, but to counter your point, neither can Nia Jax. Hey-oh! Jonathan Reyes on his end says, Lana would have got booed out of the building if there were a crowd. That match was awful. It wasn't great. Thomas Gories says, if there are no redeeming qualities, why cheer for Lana? At this point, it's just bad comedy. Sure, you feel bad for her, but you don't feel ready to cheer for her. And I've had people point out to me, Warren, you like comedy wrestling, don't you? You like the shenanigans. You keep telling us Toru Yano's so funny and this is comedy. Yeah, but that's the thing, is that just because you let's say you put you take a big slab of beef and you cover it in vanilla icing and you serve it to someone and you say, here's your cake, and then they cut into it. Wait, this isn't cake, it's steak. No, man, it's cake. I told you it's cake. Just because you call it cake doesn't mean it is cake. Just because you say it's comedy doesn't make it comedy unless it's actually funny. That's the thing. And I think they're just like trying a little too hard. Let me see here what else we got. Yeah, that's DGMC left a super chat. Says, not a super chat. What am I saying? His comment says, from what I can gather, they redid the Survivor Series 91 finish, but with Lana in Flair's spot. Really? I mean, Lana's no Ric Flair. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, you know what? I mean, bear with me, right? This is all new. And I appreciate all your comments. We'll see what happens tonight, but I think this is going to be one of the main points of interest of Raw tonight. It's going to be one that's going to attract a lot of attention, so we'll see how this goes. I had prepared a poll here, and I tested it out earlier today. So if you want to bear with me, folks, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it works. I tested it today. It's a little iffy through the use of Streamlabs, and it's been a little. I'll pull it up, and normally the commands should appear in the chat, but I'd like to know what you guys thought of Survivor Series. Now, bear with me. If the commands aren't working, I apologize. It's been extremely iffy. And if it just doesn't work, I'll just pull it down and we'll try something else next time. But we're gonna try some stuff. We're gonna try some stuff. Daniel Marshall, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. So another thing that we have to consider is that our boy Drew McIntyre lost last night at Survivor Series, got defeated by Roman Reigns. Quite frankly, again, I'm going to talk about it more on Thursday about the whole pay-per-view and about itself, but in a nutshell, I think the right man won. I think it's what most makes sense regarding that particular story. So fingers crossed, we'll see how things go moving forward here. But in regards to Drew in a nutshell, well, he lost. The top guy from Raw is going to come back and is going to be wondering, well, what's next for me? And that is the question, right? What is next for Drew after this? I think, I like this idea that we have Drew McIntyre going, down the road, maybe revisiting this feud with Tribal Chief Roman. I think it's really interesting. I like the match, by the way. I think lots of people calling it a 5-star classic might be overshooting it, but I thought it was a very, very strong match. I thought it was very, very, very good. A fight. It was a fight, and I dug it. What is next for our boy from Scotland, the Scottish psychopath, or whatever it is they call him now, the King of Claymore Country, whatever it is they're calling it now. I don't know. I don't pay attention to this stuff. I think right now, what they're setting up with Sheamus will be a very interesting feud moving forward, and I think that's where they're going next. So that's why I think that moving forward, this little relationship that they're developing with this relationship that they're developing between Sheamus and Drew, it's really clicking. It's working. It's working because you feel like it's very, very very authentic moving forward. And what's great about what's really good about the feud here is that as it stands right now, their promos don't feel overly scripted. And I talked about this on Thursday. They don't feel overly scripted. They don't feel like they're being force-fed the lines. The guys are being a little bit like themselves, right? And they're diving into, their personal situation, with their mother, so on and so forth. And I pondered last week, maybe this is a callback to exactly, maybe this is exactly what they were doing with maybe this is what they were doing exactly with what they're trying to emulate, what Kingston and Mox were doing for their feud over in AEW. Maybe. And if they are, I don't care. If it's going to bring us more interactions like we're getting between Drew and Sheamus, which aren't goofy, which feel real, which feel that has a real connection and that can reach over more easily with the fans. Continue to emulate AEW. Please do. I don't give a shit. I don't care about that stuff. Give me quality, fun, interesting programming. Whatever your source of inspiration is, that's really all that matters. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Not as intense or as, they sold me a ticket like Mox and Kingston were able to do, because I think that situation there is lightning in a bottle. But as it stands right now, with Sheamus and Drew, it's the closest thing to anything authentic that they're doing right now. And look at how different Sheamus sounds right now, as opposed to being saddled with some moron shit crappy angles and stuff like he was saddled with in regards to the Jeff Hardy. Oh, I hate you. I mean, I love you. They're heading back. Christ, you're derailing me. Look at the stuff that how Sheamus was acting and performing and how he was delivering his lines when he was doing the Jeff Hardy stuff. That stuff stunk. Of course it stunk. And now you put him in a situation where it's a little more interesting, compelling, a little more natural. It feels good. You don't have to have these overwrought stories to make things interesting. Oh my God. Oh boy. So there you go. So I think this is more of something that we can expect tonight on Raw. I think more from Sheamus, more from Drew. It makes sense that they lead into this. I hope they don't pull the trigger too soon on it. I think it's something that they could, if it's properly done, properly built, it could mean a very interesting main event at Royal Rumble and not TLC. Oh my God. So there you go. So there you go. That's what I think. I'm gonna read a couple of super chats here, and they're all from my sweet Discord members. You should join the MrWarrenHayes Discord if you're about to settle in and watch Raw. It's a good place to come and watch some wrestling. Everyone hangs out in a nice little channel called Live Watching and just sit around and chat about the goings on. We do it every time there's a live show, regardless of the company. Tonight it's Raw. Why don't you come over so that you can get into some jokes here? Evan Wright left us a super chat. Thank you very much, Evan. He says, "Oh my God, guys, did you know Top Flight got signed?" Yeah, I heard. And Sean Taggart got it into the super chat as well. Thank you very much, Sean. He says, "Wait, Top Flight got signed?" Evan Wright left another super chat after that. Thank you very much, Evan, for your super chat. Your other super chat says, "Yes, breaking news just now. Top Flight got signed." And DGMC leaves a super chat. He says, "I wonder how much," thank you very much, DGMC. He says, "Wonder how much AEW paid for Top Flight to sign." So listen, here's the thing. Evan Wright, by the way, these are all members of the very jovial MrWarrenHayes Show Discord. The link's in the description if you want to join, and I think you should because it's a good time. You see what kind of banter happens. Evan is is a top contributor in the Discord. He posts a lot of stuff, and I'm on my mobile phone, and I open up Discord, and I don't see anything. I see the Top Flight news on Twitter, and I go into the Discord, and I'm like, wow, it's weird that Evan hasn't posted this because Evan is usually on the ball with this stuff. So yes, it's the old man on his mobile phone. So I post the link to the Twitter post onto the Discord, but I realized I'm not in the general chat. Then I realized that I'm like, oh wait, I'm in live watching where no one is around. There wasn't any shows going on. I was in another channel, and I didn't post it in the main general channel because in the main general channel, per usual, Evan had already posted it, and I was like, and I typed in and I said, "Oh, it's weird that Evan hasn't posted this yet," and now they're all making fun of me. So that's what you get when you try to be a community leader. When you try to be a source of good for the world. This is what happens. You get people poo-poo on you. But seriously, come and join the MrWarrenHayes Discord. The link is in the description. It's a good time. It's a good place. Friendly folks. We call it as we see them. The stuff we like, we like. The stuff we don't like, we don't like it. come on over. It's a really good time, everyone. It's a good time. I want to say hello to Tom Sengir Vampire, who popped in. We miss you, Tom. Good to see you. So, I mean, there you go. Thank you, WWE, for such slim pickings on my first edition of the slate tonight. I hope you guys liked it. I mean, hey, if I was doing the slate for AEW Dark, I mean, it'd take me the full 30 minutes just to name everyone who's on the card. Am I right? Hey-o! Jokes, I got them. I got them jokes. The poll didn't work. I don't think it worked. I'll try and figure. I don't know why. There's something strange, and I've reached out to support, but it's very bizarre. But listen, I will be back Wednesday for this, 7:30 p.m., of course, Eastern. Half hour before the big shows start, AEW Dynamite NXT. I will be here. There you can rest assured that there's going to be a lot more content. We practically know the entire card as far as AEW goes, right? We already know that it practically everything that's going to happen right now. So there'll be a lot more content there. And of course, I'm still sticking around on Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the Mr. Warren Show? The Mr. Warren Show, Hayes. Thursdays at 9 p.m. I've been completely derailed tonight. Absolutely. And then on Friday for another slate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. So many of you, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there's so many people who jumped in. Evan Wright left us a super chat. Says thank you very much again. Evan says AW Dark pre-show bloggers. Yep, for sure. And yes, thank you for completely hijacking the stream chat. Thank you. This was the greatest first. This was the greatest first in the history of first. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy Raw tonight. We'll see you next time.